What is going on, you guys? So, I just got finished watching the EA Play 2018 press conference, E3 for EA, and, let's see, I took notes. This was not a very exciting conference. It wasn't even as funny as last year's. Last year's had some cringe on rewatch, like with some of the announcers just having no idea what the fuck they're doing. Like, it was really funny. This year, there was only one really awkward interview, and that was with Respawn, the Respawn developer. But anyways, this shouldn't be very long of a video because I don't have too much to say. We got EA Sports. If you like them, fine. You know, that's totally cool. If you like them, that's awesome. Congratulations. Have fun with your EA Sports games. No, and I do mean that. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm kind of had like a sarcastic tone. If you like those games, more power to you. I could not give a fuck less. I could not give a fuck less. So yeah, fuck the EA Sports games. Moving on, Battlefield 5. They did not show much Battlefield 5. I know they said that they're going to show more at Microsoft's conference, but still, when you have the show floor and you're EA and this is your game, you'd think you'd want to show it here. But I guess maybe they know that Microsoft will have a bigger audience because Microsoft is bigger. So maybe that's why they want to show more there. It looks fine. I actually had fun with Battlefield 1 with my friends on playing on PlayStation. We'd all get together and jump in, have fun. I had a good time with it, but I don't know if I'm really interested in Battlefield 5, really. I mean, it's got a Battle Royale mode. They're adding that. I don't care. I play Fortnite with my friends, too. I'm not huge into Fortnite, really. I just kind of casually jump in once in a blue moon, really. So I don't care that they're adding a Battle Royale. I just find it funny that they're adding a Battle Royale because it's a meme at this point. Like, everything has a Battle Royale. FIFA should have had... If they had announced Battle Royale for FIFA, this would have been the best conference. No conference could even come close to announcing Battle Royale in FIFA. That would have been fucking hilarious. And impossible, I'm joking. But, yeah, so... Battlefield 5, it looks okay. They didn't show much. It was like a cinematic thing, and then they kind of just talked about the Battle Royale, and yeah, not much to really... with Battlefield 1, I liked the gameplay. It was fun multiplayer. I never played the single player for it. So I'd want to see, like, gameplay of Battlefield 5, and they didn't really give us that. So maybe at Microsoft. Then we have Battlefront 2. These motherfuckers had some gigantic iron balls to come out there and talk about Battlefront 2 after everything that has happened with that game. They announced General Grievous, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, all that. And like they talked about the Han Solo DLC that it's getting and stuff like that. So whatever, I don't care about that game. I wish I could. The original Battlefront 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. The original Star Wars Battlefront 2. And this game, just all the shit they put into it. And I know they fixed it later, but they only fixed it because of the outrage. And again, some really big iron balls to come out there and talk about that game. They admitted that they stumbled. They didn't apologize for anything, of course. That would have been, way too nice of them and way too mature of them to come out and apologize. But, they kind of were just like, yeah, we got up on the wrong foot, blah, blah, didn't launch the way we wanted it to. The bullshit we've heard in all the interviews and shit. Then Respawn, a guy from Respawn was there, had a really cringy, like, awkward interview with this girl about them working on a Jedi, it's like, what do they call it, a Jedi, a Fallen Order or something, and you're going to be playing as Jedi during, like, Order 66, kind of like Order 66. It's during the Dark Times when Jedi are being hunted, which is a cool concept, I guess, and, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like Force Unleashed did that a bit. Sort of like that. I feel like you hunted a couple Jedi in the first Force Unleashed. At least in the PS2 version. I don't know. I feel like the PS2 version was like kind of different from the other versions, but whatever. That's what I played it on. It could be cool. Respawn, Titanfall 2 was supposed to be really good. The big problem with this, and I said this on Twitter, I said Respawn making a Star Wars game should be really cool, and I should be excited for it. But I'm cautious more than anything because EA's shadow is just looming over everything here. Battlefield 5, the sports games, Battlefront 2, Respawn's game. They're just looming over all of it, and it's just like, what bullshit are you going to put in it? Like, what stupid shit am I going to have to deal with if I want to play any of these games? But it's not all bad news or indifferent news. Unravel 2, anything with an EA original was like the saving grace of this conference. The EA originals were really solid. Unravel 2 being out today was a nice surprise. It looked great. I'm gonna see if one of my friends wants to play that with me. We've been on like a little bit of a co-op kick for a while. We played A Way Out together. We played Brother: A Tale of Two Sons together, and I'm gonna ask him if he wants to play Unravel 2 because that looks really good. Then we got Sea of Solitude, which looked awesome, visually great. It had like a cool art style, cool premise. It looked like it was kind of dark, but not too like pretentious or dark for the sake of being dark. It looked a little artsy, but it looked really cool. I definitely want to see more of that. Command and Conquer on mobile. I'm sure if you're a Command and Conquer fan, then that's probably gonna piss you off because they're turning Command and Conquer into a mobile game. They spent more time on that than they did on Battlefield 5, which is really stupid. Their priorities were definitely weird in this conference and what they were talking about, and a lot of stuff. This felt like a dud. Like anytime they wanted to get people to cheer, like those parts were funny too. When they wanted people to cheer and no one cheered, or you got like 3 claps from the back, like it was really not landing for a lot of people. A few things got claps, but for the most part, they they were kind of just. It was very indifferent. I got a very indifferent vibe from most of the audience reactions. So that's pretty much everything. And then Anthem was the big finish, and Anthem does look good. It visually looks absolutely stunning. The verticality, the giant enemies that we saw in the trailer, the technology. I'm a sucker for ancient ruins that are very unique and distinct. Like, you look at like Jak and Daxter with the old precursor ruins and things like that. Very old technology it's futuristic, but it's old within that, universe's canon, if that makes sense. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff, so that stuff looked really cool. Anthem does look cool. I do have some issues with it, though. They were talking about how it's not going to have loot boxes, which is good, but they did say cosmetics are still paid. So, like, I'm assuming we're going to have to pay for colors and shit, like Destiny 2. Maybe, maybe not, but it's EA, so I'm expecting anything at this point. That's bullshit. They're talking about how it's going to be like a live service game. They never outright said it, but they said things like it'll be a service, we'll add story constantly. I hope it doesn't launch as a bare bones game like Destiny and then has to get filled in with DLC that's like $20 a pop. That would be ridiculous. That would be stupid. I hope that, because they talked about how you can play it in single player, but they were really pushing, like it really felt like they were pushing the co-op. Like they're trying to sell it as it's a single player game and a co-op game, but it really feels like it's a co-op game with single player as an option, and that's not the best way to play, and they don't want to outright say that, so they're kind of saying, yeah, try the co-op, give the co-op a chance, The single player is going to be harder, and I'm a little nervous about that. I mean, I'd play the game co-op with my friends anyway, so we wouldn't have a problem with that, but yeah, I feel like they were kind of scooting around the fact that the single player might not be as great. It's going to be the same story, it's going to be the same thing, it's just may not be as good of an experience in single player. But of course, they're not going to tell you that because that doesn't look good on their game. So that's pretty much everything. So yeah, like I said, EA Originals was the saving grace of the conference. That stuff was all great. Unravel 2, Sea of Solitude, announcing that Joseph Fares, the Fuck the Oscars guy, and his studio are now like in EA, I guess. Which I don't know if I like that actually. Maybe I kind of like them being separate and like EA not getting the money for that game and everything. I hope they don't kind of. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But in general, a lot of time was taken up by FIFA, and they were like, "Oh, Hans Zimmer scored it." I'm like, "Oh, Hans Zimmer scored a FIFA game, guys! Get excited!" Like, they had this trophy out there, and then the funniest though, the absolute highlight of the show, 100%, was when that like football player or basketball player, whoever he was, he came out and he was talking about chasing money. And the other guy was like, we're chasing money out here. We're chasing money out here. E3 2018. Quote. That's the quote. That is the quote coming out of this conference. I'm sorry. Fuck Anthem and Unravel and Battlefield 5. The quote, the big thing coming out of this conference is we're out here chasing money. That shit at EA, that's gold. You can't make that up. That was just like, that's the most memeable thing I've ever seen come out of a conference in a while. That was great. So I had fun with it in a way, but it was also really boring. Not a lot of stuff I was interested in. I did miss the beginning part. I don't know if I mentioned. I did miss the beginning. I jumped in a little bit late. I don't know if Battlefield 5 was the start or what. I don't know what time the conference started. So maybe I missed a few things before Battlefield 5. Go ahead and fill me in the comment section below if anything cool was announced, or maybe Battlefield 5 was a start. I don't know. Again, Battlefield 5 Battle Royale mode. I don't know. Battle Royale. It's a passing fad. Like I'm enjoying playing Fortnite with my friends every once in a while. That's cool and all, but I don't know. Like it's a passing fad. It's going to die off, and all these companies are trying to jump on while it's still popular. And unless they're really bringing something new to it and evolving it, it's just going to get stale and repetitive, and it's going to die even faster. And instead of becoming a genre, instead of becoming a genre that is constantly being innovated and expanded year after year, it's just going to be a fad that'll die off, completely, and just like no one will want to touch it because it was just stagnant from every game company. So I hope they're bringing new things to it, and it can become a thriving new genre, for a thriving new way to do multiplayer. It could be a mode that's attached to every shooter game or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. And again, Anthem does look really good, but that's the theme of this whole thing is with EA, and I don't have a bias against EA. I would have happily bought A Way Out if my friend hadn't and played it with him because EA didn't put any bullshit in it. It was $30. It was a reasonable length. It didn't have any loot boxes or cosmetics or any bullshit. It was just a straight up gaming experience, and I'll buy that. And I'll support Spyro if Spyro, the remakes, don't have any bullshit in them from Activision. I don't have a bias against these companies. I just call it how I see it, and EA has done a lot of scummy shit and said a lot of scummy shit lately, and they put scummy shit in their games, and that's kind of just the looming shadow over all of these announcements, except for, again, the EA Originals, because the EA Originals have a track record of being really good games, or at least solid games, that don't have all this bullshit in them. So yeah, they're the saving grace. There were some funny moments, like the We Chasing Money and the awkward interview with Respawn and the lack of clapping when they wanted applause. But all in all, I thought it was just kind of an underwhelming conference. Nothing that exciting outside of a couple of games. They're EA. They're not my cup of tea. If you enjoyed the conference more, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. It's totally possible that, it was much more professional than last year's. I'll say that. It was much better presented than last year's. So if you like the conference, that's fine. I was underwhelmed, but I'm not the audience for EA. I just wanted to give my thoughts. This video is going a little bit longer than I thought it would, so I'll wrap it up here. Again, one more time, what do you guys think of the conference? Have you seen it? Do you like any of the things I talked about? If you haven't seen the conference and this was your source for all the information that they announced, do you like the sound of any of this stuff? Does any of it interest you? Go ahead and tell me in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up, share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you've seen here. Click that little bell to get notifications when my videos go up. I'm going to be doing E3 coverage all of this next, few days, doing Sony, Microsoft. I'm not going to hit everybody, but I'll hit all, I'll probably maybe do Ubisoft. I'll do Sony, I'll do Microsoft, I'll do Nintendo, so look forward to those. Subscribe if you want to see those. Hit the bell if you want to see those. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.